Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King.
Greetings, friends of the A Collision with Purpose movement. Welcome to Bridging Generations, Voices of Men in a Changing World. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson. This groundbreaking podcast delves into the multifaceted experiences of men across different generations. In an era where societal norms and expectations rapidly evolve, this show offers young and older men a unique platform to voice their challenges, triumphs, and perspectives.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's good to see you again. I'm Juan Smith, another co-host. And with this show, every episode aims to foster understanding and bridge the gap between generations, exploring themes ranging from masculinity and mental health to career dynamics and personal relationships. So whether it's a teenager grappling with the pressures of social media or a senior reflecting on the changing definitions of manhood, Bridging Generations is committed to uncovering the real stories of men navigating the complexities of a changing world. Wow. So Doc, I felt that one. That whole changing world thing. So many things now changing. What's going on? What's changing this week?
You talk about the complexities of a changing world, and we have a general election coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, with real serious implications, right?
Yes.
How this election turned out will affect all of us in a huge way. And recently there's been a shift. There's some excitement, and I know you see it. It's happening all around you with the Vice President Kamala Harris now in the game.
Yep.
A potential nominee.
Yep.
And what are your thoughts on that?
It's interesting because we're like you said, we're in this time. I would say this, like the saying goes, the only thing constant is change. And so with just the recent news and deciding to not run for office again, and then giving his nomination to support Vice President Harris, that was a big change. That was definitely a big change, and so now, of course, we're waiting to see if she gets the nomination, from the Democratic National Convention. So we'll see. Which I think, she's pretty much she's got it in the bag, right? I think it's awesome how just the news around how she was able to raise over $200 million just in a matter of weeks.
Yeah,
I mean that's unprecedented.
Days. Yeah, that's
days. Yeah.
right. That speaks. And she was just recently. She was in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Packed crowd.
I think it's important, and even we see, the support she's receiving from the men, black and brown men, black and brown women, even the younger population. So it's looking pretty good. I do know that it matters. There's been a lot of discussion around, is it worth voting? And I believe it is. I believe our vote counts in so many ways. I think we oftentimes we forget that, when we get to the polls, what our vote actually does. We're thinking of Speaker of the House. We're thinking of, congressmen and women, the Senate. So these votes matter, because these are the policymakers. So your vote matters, even your local elections, the vote
I mean,
matters. So I think this is a good time.
it is the one time you get a chance to play a role, right?
Yes.
Vote, to vote,
Yeah.
and it's not something we should take for granted. It's
Absolutely.
not, and too often I find that too many of us tend to do that.
Mhm.
We walk away saying, "Oh, vote don't make any difference." We've had some very close elections in recent time, haven't we?
Yes.
Some very
Yes.
so get out there, if you're watching this program or the replay, get out there and just make your vote count. And
Yes.
as we said earlier, these are challenging times, serious times, but I know who I'm going to vote for. And I know who you're going to vote for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what a historical thing that will be.
I think this is again. I honestly believe that we are in unprecedented times. And it's things that we haven't seen before that's taking place and that's going to take place. So like you said, and I agree, we really have to make our vote count, because it matters, of all ages. If you are old enough to vote, do your research. Do your research. Check out, because there's been a lot of discussion around what has she done as the vice president, or even before, when she was, in the senator. I'm like, it matters that you read all the news, all the facts, all the research, all the things and work that's been done, instead of just just going by social media. And I think that's what it means to make your vote count, that you've done your research before. I think it's anything before we make any like key decision. These are life-changing decisions that we're making. So it matters that we sit down and read, study, just like we would study anything else.
I tell you what she's done since she became the prospective nominee. She's changed the whole trajectory, of the election. Now all attention is on her. She's one who is very capable, more so capable. She is a real challenge to the other candidate, right?
Yes.
A real challenge, and just her presence alone has been created so much enthusiasm and excitement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something that was not there before.
Yes.
Didn't exist before. I look at my social media pages, and man, it's a busy page, and it's a busy world in the internet world. Out there now. So many people are getting involved. Younger people are getting involved. Women are getting involved.
Yes.
Men are getting involved. And it's not just people of color.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah. I was just about to add, when you finished that, and it's not just us.
No.
It's not just us.
No, it's not just us. By the way, what is a black job?
That's a good question.
Do you have a black job?
Now, see, I have a job where a lot of black people work.
That that's an interesting concept. I'm trying to understand what it really is. I would like for someone to give me a definition of what that is, but I've yet to receive one, that is valid. But I'm still waiting. So if someone should ever present that to you, please feel free to share it on this platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me look. Let me see. So it says, in some contexts, black job, quote unquote, may refer to work that is not officially documented or recognized by government authorities. This often means that the job is part of the informal economy, where employees are paid under the table and do not receive official wages, benefits, or protections. It also says that jobs predominantly held by black workers is referred to as occupations or industries where a significant portion of the workforce is African American.
Oh, so I see in the police force lots of black people working. Is that a black job?
Well, I don't know if they get paid under the table. I think they get official. I think they get official wages and benefits according to this definition. So,
and when you fly through Atlanta Airport, you see so very interesting concept. So very interesting, and I'm not sure what it's meant, what they're really saying when they say that. I'm not really sure. What message they're trying to convey, but there's some underlying meaning there.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree, and I don't think it was meant in a positive manner. So,
no, things that are beneath the surface are generally not positive, right? Generally not positive. But that's a conversation that we should be having, and we will be having that from today on to the election, because it's important, and we have a voice. This is Voices of Men in a Changing World, and we will talk about it. We will talk about the things that are important to us, that have implications for our lives. That's our commitment, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. What else is happening with you?
Man, a lot. So just in this time of I've been writing. So and to be more specific, we spoke before about just commitments that we've been working on all year. And so one of the commitments was definitely when it came to mentoring and working with youth and young adults. And so I've been sitting with some of my mentees, almost like a not necessarily an interview, but just kind of just taking in and gathering just information and just things that they're often looking for or trying to find out or researching. And so I've been writing in that, just almost like a I don't know if I'll call it a guide, but it's on the lines of what I've learned or what I wish I've known. And so I'm just filling that stuff out based on conversations having with them, and looking forward to publishing it. So it's just, just things that, and I don't know if it's going to be more specific to young males or just, just young adults in general. But yeah, so I've been working on that, because I remember being that young adult, having so many questions, and it taking much longer for me to figure out purpose and passion and stuff like that. But I found it, and so I'm trying to, working on, just turning it back and just trying to catch them while they still are young, to help them, help direct them down the right path.
Yeah, and I know you are that man who operates in his river state. You're always depositing information, sharing, as opposed to those who are in that stagnant lake place, where they're holding on to information, believing that if they share it, it will diminish their value and their return, right? So I'm pleased to say that you're not that person. You're the person who's out there spreading the love,
Absolutely.
and just adding value. Because one thing we understand about, building communities, there's no better way to build your life than to build the community that you live in.
Absolutely.
No better way. If you really want to make an impact and improve your life, help build a community that can support your values, that align with your values, and that gives you the opportunity to go out there and do the work that you're called to do. Right? So there's no better way. No better way. You know, big announcement tonight. It's back. Effective today. And I want you to talk about this because you was very instrumental in the last outing of this. I want you to talk about this.
So, course is being presented by Collision with Purpose colloquium. Just the last one we had, to our audience, it was just exceptional. I'm trying to find a word just to describe it, a word that's big enough because I think what touched me the most, and I think had a major impact, is to be able to, as Doc would say, honor and pay homage to the unsung heroes. We have so many people just around our neighbors. We're always looking for the big names, or who got notoriety and just are well known, or renowned and stuff like. But there's so many people that often are overlooked in our very neighborhood and our communities who are doing some exceptional and remarkable work. And so being able to be a part of a movement, an initiative, an organization that took it upon itself to honor those unsung heroes in the community, and not just nationally but internationally, was major. That's what this is about, and just being able to hear everybody's story about how they collided with their purpose, inspired so many people, to push them even closer to theirs. So it was big. So I'm looking forward to February 22nd, 2025.
And you said it was big, and yes, it was, but because we're committed to growing and to growth and to personal development, this one will naturally be bigger.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say better because the last one was what it was. It was amazing. So will this one. It will just be bigger. And we're looking to honor 12 individuals. 12. Some will be from Atlanta, some will be from another country, some will be from another country, some will be from other states. So we're looking to honor 12 individuals. We will have entertainment, opportunity to network. We will have a book signing. We will have students involved. We'll be giving away scholarships. And of course, with all of our events, students attend for free.
Yes.
Right. They are our priority, as you said earlier, in your mentoring initiatives that you're involved with. They are our priorities. So we'll be giving them scholarships. They'll attend for free. Now the cost for the tickets, as you can see, is $60. And with that $60, you will receive a copy of the book, right? A Personal Odyssey to Find Purpose. Daily Insights Unveiled, a Personal Odyssey to Find Purpose. You'll receive a copy of the book. So what a great deal, right?
Yes.
$6, you get a book. And you can become part of something big, something really big. So I'm excited. I'm excited to kick it off. And man, you at the last event, you was a collaborator in the book, and you had an opportunity to address the audience. And man, what an awesome job you did.
Thank you, Doug, for that opportunity. I'm still in awe, and I can imagine just the new 12. That is something about the number, but the new honorees for next year. Just thinking about what their experience is going to be like, just to be able to stand before their communities, their peers, their families, their friends, their neighbors, and receive and be awarded. Because it was a great opportunity to be in a collaborator. So I'm just looking forward to seeing the expressions of the honorees and those who get to stand before the community and be honored.
And you on that stage, what did it feel like to address all those people in the audience, and not just in the audience, but outside of the
Yeah.
audience, Mhm. In the house.
Honestly, it was nerve-wracking at first because standing up, and I do this often, speak before people often, but I'm always nervous. But when I thought about what was going on in that moment, I'm telling my story
Mm.
locally and globally, and I'm passionate about that. I believe that our story matters. I do believe mine matters. And I've grown over the 5 to 8 years, just realizing how significant, how much of an impact my story has. And so it felt good to be on stage sharing my story on this platform.
Well, I went back and revisited your presentation, and often when you're in the moment, you're not hearing, you're not listening attentively. But what a presentation! And I know I sent it to you, so you should be so proud. Your family should be so proud because you did an amazing job, man. You'd really hit. It was a home run up on top of home run, right? That's
Yeah,
what you delivered. So I know you'll be speaking at the event in February, and again, this is going to be tied to Black History Month.
hmm
How big a deal is that?
that's huge.
Hmm?
That
Yeah.
that that is huge. I'm gonna say, it's me, and this is a word I've held on to for some time now. It's legendary.
Mm.
The work that we've committed ourselves to, the work that you are doing, Doc, it is legendary. You're able to do this work, and do it well, and that, to me, you're a living legend. So this initiative is legendary. I
Mm.
really believe that it's historical.
And it's historical, not so much because me, but because of you, Augusta, Donna,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
daughters, Corinne and Kiana, and
Yes.
all the other folks
Hmm.
who are dedicated, committed, their time just to give back. Because this is a give back initiative, right? It's
Absolutely.
about empowering everyone, not just younger people. So not just younger people, but empowering everyone, right?
Absolutely.
As
Absolutely.
we're having this conversation and this show tonight, I want everyone out there listening to know that our work is not the focus on one person.
Hmm.
It's a collaborative effort where like-minded people come together and they're just doing the do and doing the do. Of course, I'm leading the initiative, but this is an initiative with many, many leaders, yourself included. They say that if you really want to make an impact, find find individuals who are better than you in whatever they do. They're more capable. You do what you're doing, you do it very well, but bring others in who are just as good or better than you
Yeah.
in the areas that they perform. And I think that's the blessings that we have here. That's what we've received, and I'm so proud and so happy that that is so. So proud and so happy.
I second that.
Hmm.
Like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited. This is major. This is big.
Yeah, big stuff, big stuff. And I tell you, we talk about the book, right?
Hmm.
And the book, I want to bring it up on the screen. We're talking about daily insights unveiled and a personal odyssey to find purpose. And this book is actually up for pre-order right now. It's at the editor. She received it 2 days ago and she's working on it. And her immediate response to me was, wow, it's amazing. Amazing. And I'll tell you, you know, once you have an opportunity to read this book, and I'm just going to give you just a quick idea of what is in there. It's an invitation, right, to embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery. And This book is consists of a collection of daily meditations and conversations, and it is designed to inspire, to challenge, and guide you, the reader, to uncover your true purpose. That's
Yeah.
what this is about. So each conversations, right, in this book provide a fresh insight into crucial topics, whether it's personal growth, whether it is resilience, identity, gratitude and kindness, hope and positivity, leadership. And we talk about leadership, integrity, and, wellness. We even touch on that in here, so what else can I say? It's a way to achieve deeper understanding and self-realization, right? So for that individual out there, if they're seeking clarity in career, in their relationships, or a spiritual path, each chapter in this book is a gentle yet powerful guide to help them get there. And then put right in this book, I did it with the belief that every individual can uncover their unique calling. That is the premise behind this book. So enough said about that, but that's what this book is all about.
Self-realization.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about. And I'm gonna put up the link for, yeah. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, so in case someone would like to go out there and get it, it's right here. All right. Yeah, that's what's happening, man. That is out there, and I'm very excited about it. Very excited. Very excited. And one is saying good evening to, if you're out there watching, listening, it's good evening, and welcome to the show. We ask that you share, because we know that sharing is what? Sharing is caring.
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting. I have folks calling me, and they want to talk to me about the show, but I would rather them come online and talk about it. I'm getting texts and so forth. I like what you guys are doing, but not understanding that we're in the midst of it right now. But it's okay. We welcome all these things, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're here to pre-order Daily Insights, there's the link. It's in the chat, and highly recommend that you go out there and get your copy. Get it now. This is going to be a hot seller. It's gonna be a hot seller. So get it early. Be one of the first ones to receive it in December. Yeah. So that's what's up with that one. So what else do you think you'd like to talk about tonight? That's hot out there. We talk about the election and what's going on with that. What other hot topic out there that you want us to touch on?
Well, I know we spoke about it briefly some weeks back, but we said we were going to focus in on fatherhood. And so I've just been thinking through, I'm had joined this group about a year and a half ago, if not longer. It's called Fathers Incorporated. And it's about brotherhood, and they assist what they do, and it's nationally. You graduate everything. I was part of a cohort. I got accepted in, and they help fathers of all ages, ethnicities, races. Just kind of just develop coping mechanisms to cope with just estrangement from the children, breakups, some legal issues, all types of things. But more importantly, I think what I got from it was the brotherhood. We're on weekly, and we have coaches, and they bring in clinical therapists, they bring in motivational speakers, they bring in life coaches, all of these different people to just provide tips and advice, and even attorneys as the laws are changing and there's different things. And it was a great experience, and I thought about how much of an impact it had on myself. I was actually able to refer a couple of young guys who are looking for something like that, and they're doing well. They're doing well in it. So I thought about that when we were talking about just focusing in on fatherhood, because it matters. Fatherhood is very important. I think, and it's exciting. I don't think, but I know in the society that we're in, you know, we don't get a lot of positive, I would say a lot of positive things said about fathers, especially black and brown fathers. And so I definitely wanted to say that Fathers Incorporated, want to put that out there. And if there's any groups that are supporting or uplifting fathers in the community, definitely, if you're looking for a community, join it. It was extremely helpful. It was extremely helpful. And I think it's important as we talk about community. You touched on community earlier, Doc. And I think we strengthen these communities by strengthening our families, and then strengthen our families by, you know, bringing dads and fathers back into the equation, you know, helping them find their voice again, you know. So I think that's extremely important, especially in the time that we're in now.
Extremely important. But how can someone listening to you right now get involved?
So more specifically for Fathers Incorporated, that is the actual that's the website, fathersincorporated.org. .com, I'm sorry. And so you're going on there, and they have applications if you're interested. They have opportunities if you want to join to be a mentor, a coach, or even join a cohort. They have that information. I really think it is definitely it has been instrumental in my development as a better father. So definitely look out for it.
Wow. All right. So what we'll do, we'll find a way to provide the link. All right. We'll find a way to provide the link in the chat, because that's not something we want to keep a secret. Here we go. Let me get ready to post that. Thanks for sharing that with me. Let's put it out there. It's not something we want to keep to ourselves, right? It's too big a deal. Too big a deal to lock onto.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There it is. fathersincorporated.com. So you can click on that link, right? And just follow the prompts.
Yeah.
And get it done. And is there a specific time that they meet?
Yes. So it was I think we met every Tuesday. But there are different cohorts, so the time changes. So once you're assigned your coach, you're provided with that information. And I'm gonna tell you, it's well worth it. It's not anything that just puts you on blast. Like it really is community. And it was very refreshing for me to be in a community of men. Like I said, all ages. We had some that were 18, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60 on all of together, you know, sharing their story. There we go with stories, sharing stories again. And it was phenomenal, man, just to see them open up. It's definitely it was therapeutic for a lot of us, just being able to share and even hear each other's story and talk amongst each other.
Wow. That's awesome stuff. Well, you know, I shared the link, and that's something I myself am going to check out, see how I can participate in an initiative like this. Yeah. Because one of our number one role is what? Being a parent, being a father, right? When we have children.
Absolutely.
And often it's not just your children.
Right, absolutely.
You know, it's not just your children, right? So good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. All right, so let's take a quick break. I think this is a good time to take a quick break, and I want to play a video here, all right, on the break.
I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection, and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid. I put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth. Cause I know to whom I belong, I am bold for Christ. Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Loving others as he told me to pray for healing, miracles to see, knowing my identity in Christ, he is in me. I am a bold kid, he loves me, standing firm on his word, proclaiming everything I heard, not afraid because he is with me. Be bold. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Put on my armor, and I write his word blessing come out of my mouth, because I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying his presence wherever he sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid.
Wow, I'm a bold kid. Sort of remind me of becoming iron, right? I'm a bold kid, fearlessly bold, and that's you're going to be hearing more about that. That's Tremaine and Kiana. That's their thing, and it's going to be big stuff happening there. So I won't say much about that. That's one of the just quick sneak preview in there. And here's Tremaine saying she's a bold kid. She'll come on and talk a little bit more about that one day, maybe next week, because that's something big that's about to go down, right? It's about to go down real big. So thank you, Tremaine and Kiana, for what you're doing with that. Yes, big stuff, big stuff. So Juan, we've been talking about becoming iron, tales of courage and conviction. And I just Tremaine just dropped something in the chat, and I want to put it up there. Everyone is a bold kid, no matter your age. I think it is what she's saying. We're all kids, right? Some of us are kids, are adults, just overgrown. Yes. So we've been doing this becoming iron thing. We've been talking about it. Tales of courage and conviction. And I know it's an anthology, and we'll be writing a chapter in this book. And I'm not sure if you've identified your category yet, whether you are a brave man, a resilient man, an empowered man, or inspired man. Have you chose a category yet?
I have, actually. The resilient man.
And to the best of my recollection, the resilient man knows where he belongs. So tell me a little bit about you knowing where you belong.
I have to, and it ties into what we talk about every day about purpose. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Doing the work that I was called to do, know who I am. I've learned in this past year, when asked who I am, I'm a voice. And I can say that because, there was a big portion of my life where I didn't speak much. I didn't talk much because I was insecure, and I was afraid to speak. I was not that confident in what I had to say. So I know that where I am or where I'm standing, I'm supposed to be. And it took growth. It definitely took growth in life experiences, and faith. So I'm that resilient man. I am. I call myself the comeback kid. I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Wow.
So it takes a lot to keep me down.
Yeah. Knock down, get back up, get on it, and doing it.
Pushing.
I want to ask you a question here, and I don't want to go too much into your story because I want you to save it for the book, for your chapter. But can you think of a time when you had to make a real brave decision despite fears or uncertainty, and how did that tie into you being that resilient man?
Absolutely. Real quick, I would say And this is part of the story. This is those things that we don't, that we hold. But when my daughter was conceived,
Mm,
and for those that don't know, I'm licensed and ordained. I'm a minister. I was actually ordained as a pastor. And so I was not married to the mother of my daughter.
mm,
We were boyfriend and girlfriend. And so when it happened, I honestly, the best way I can describe it, I felt like the wind was knocked out of me.
mm,
When I received news, and I started to fall apart, you know, um,
mm.
and that was, I think I carried that guilt and shame for years. Um, and I'll say this long short of, my dad called me during this time, and he was checking on me, and he could hear it in my voice. He was like, "Son, what's going on?" He's like, "Dad, I don't know." And he was like, "What are you scared of?" I was like, "People." He's like, "What is it about people?" He's like, "They may walk away." And he said, "Let them walk away. Because those who truly know you, those who truly love you, will stand by you through every moment in life, good, bad, or indifferent." And he said this, he was like, "Oh, I get it. You seem to think you can walk on water. You still think you're the perfect one." He said, "There's only one." He said, "You know him well. That's
Mhm.
what that truly matters." And that conversation really did it for me. He said, "Where do you go from here?" is the question he asked me. And that's a question that was lingering, resonate during that process.
What a conversation that was, huh?
Yeah.
But as I'm listening to you, I'm hearing the brave man jumping out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hearing that man.
Yeah.
You talk about facing the darkest night, and what a dark night that was for you.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes. Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right, to have the courage to still show up,
Mhm.
and I did have to. And truthfully, people walked away. People stopped calling. I stopped getting invitations, speaking in invitations, so many things came with that. But I decided to accept my responsibility, not just as a father, but just my responsibility of the decisions that I made,
Mm.
and what came, and the consequences that came with it. It was not easy, but like you said, it took bravery. I had to decide to still show up.
Mm. Not to the happiest place, right? But show up you must, right? Because
Yeah.
there's no running away,
No, no,
right?
no.
There's no running
There is
away.
no running away, because at some point you have to face it. Yeah.
You gotta face the fire, man.
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about when we say becoming iron.
Yes.
The process that the material, whatever that thing is, go through to become iron. It's vicious.
Yeah.
It's fiery, right? It's hot. It's not a walk in the park, right? And I believe you had defined it one time in a program, what the process of that you must go through to become iron, and you're gonna come out of that thing with some bruises,
Yeah. Yeah.
some scars.
You know, yes. But and think about the process, Doc. You saying that just made me think, because iron sharpens iron, right?
Hmm.
And we even read that, in Proverbs 17, but iron sharpens iron. But here's the thing, it takes the strength and the power of iron to sharpen iron. You can't just use anything, to sharpen iron. And oftentimes I think I look at that, and I look at life at times being, sometimes it's rough, it's hard. But if you allow it, it will sharpen you.
If you allow it, you gotta be open.
Yeah.
You gotta be open, right? Because if you know you more more often than not, there are challenges in life, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not the norm for it to be an easy ride, a walk in the park. Not if you're striving for something bigger, something greater. Not if you're committed to growing and to growth, right? And to becoming a better you, right? So there are always going to be challenges, but it's how we receive
Absolutely.
it with a challenge, right? Or the challenges, and you just said it. You couldn't have said it better. You have to be prepared and willing to take it on,
Yep. Yep.
right? And once you're in a place like that, in that place where you're prepared to do it, then you, at some point, you will receive the benefits.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But until that day, it is work in progress.
Absolutely.
I'm reminded what my mentor used to always say to me, that a business is never built. It's always been built.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stagnation is not a good thing.
Yeah.
To be stuck in a place is never a good thing. Right?
Yes. I've learned that that you will have low moments. And sometimes it's moments where you feel broken, right? But like you said, don't get stuck there. Don't stay there. Don't get stagnant,
Don't spend time where you don't intend to be.
That's good.
So if it is your will and your desire, if you have goals, don't hang around worrying about where you are. Work and spend that energy and time where you're heading. So do the things you need to do to get out of that place where you don't belong. You talk about you've been a resilient man, you know where you belong. So if you're in a rut, you're not going to get caught up in that rut because you don't belong there.
Yep.
You belong where you're going, where you're heading.
Yep.
And that's why I'm feeling so good about this project, Becoming Iron, Tales of Courage and Conviction, because I know what kind of participation we're going to have from different people involved. I have the stories in there it's going to empower, it's going to inspire our fans, it's going to inspire the readers, strangers, people we don't even know.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and someone came on the show one time and said it's going to be a template for how we should be.
I said this and that you saying it just made me. I said this a long time ago. When I might have been talking to a client, I can't remember, but I said, your story. I know it was because I'm a parent coach as well. It was a workshop last year, and what I talked to single parents last, I think it was August, and I talked to them about that you're the standard, for your kids. But where I got that from is the understanding that my story is a blueprint for somebody else. So when they're almost like you said, a roadmap, a blueprint, but people trying to figure out what I heard what they said, but how do I get out of this? Or I'm in this place, or the situation has happened, or I've made this decision. Now where do I go from here? How do I get to, like you said, to where I desire to be? And I believe just that, like you said about the book, that when they read, they're like, oh, because where they are will align with somebody's story. Maybe more than one person, but definitely at least one story that will align with where they are, and they'll be able to read that and take steps and take notes to get out of where they are and to get to where they desire to be.
There's the saying that through the annals of time, we walk and learn. Each step a treasure at every turn. And I'm a believer. I own that.
Yeah.
100% own that. Well, there's so much coming that we have to look forward to with A Collision with Purpose. And we're having this conversation because this is our anniversary month, 2nd-year anniversary. So we're going to do a recap on everything that we have done and achieved at A Collision with Purpose. We're going to, and so starting next week on both shows in the spotlight and on this platform, Bridging Generation Voice of Men, we're going to tell our story. We're going to share our story because I think it's a story worth sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's worth sharing. It's not, we talk about the power of an idea, right? And here's an idea being manifested. It's real. Just a little small idea that let's do something about purpose. Having no idea what that something is or would turn out. We decided to take this on. And what have we achieved since is our story. That is our story. And that is the story starting next week we're going to be telling. We're going to be talking about. So, it's talk about tales of courage and conviction. We'll be sharing a collision with purpose story starting next week. Now, you're going to be doing a podcast on the collision with purpose, under the banner of the collision with purpose. And I'm not sure if you're ready to put it out there, but just give us a quick glimpse of what that could look like.
So, what I've learned this, and just through growth and counseling, just spiritual development, just development holistically, I have found that, especially my generation, I don't think that we know how to properly date. Number one, date ourselves, self-care, looking out for ourselves, loving ourselves. Two, date our significant other or someone, some possible potential mate. I believe we rush it too often. And I don't think that we truly understand how to date, that it's okay to take your time, and then what that process looks like when you're taking your time, the questions to ask yourself, the questions to ask, this potential mate, to be comfortable with asking these questions, and what works best, especially given where you've come from and where you are. So this podcast is something that I've been sitting on. It's been on my mind, but it's called the X Files with Juan Marcel, and it pretty much just talks about lessons that I have learned during my dating experience.
Lessons learned. And you'll be sharing those lessons for others to benefit and to learn from.
Yeah. And I said like this, I was talking to a friend. I said, this is really about how they became exes, folks I'm along with. But it's not so much focused on them as it is focused on what I learned about myself.
Right.
So
through your experiences, what you went through in life, your trials, your tribulations, your successes, and they will learn. Yes. We will learn. So my suggestion is, as you're watching Juan talk about the X Files, come there as a blank page. And what does that mean? Come there prepared to learn, knowing that you don't know what you need to know. So that's why you're here, to take it in. Right? Because too often we show up as if we're the experts, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Too often we show up believing we already know. So we block out all opportunities by doing that. And that's the one thing you don't want to do. Because if you're talking, chances are you're not learning. Yeah. But if you come there ready and to listen in an active way, chances are you will walk away with something. And that's the essence of it all, right?
Yeah.
Why show if you're not willing to learn?
That's a good question.
Yeah. And that's the question, right? That's the question. You talk about something about self-care a few minutes ago. And, I am starting a new initiative. I wouldn't say it's a new program, right? Because it's all in the same for me, just a different approach. And I want to play a clip, and it's what I call the daily challenge. And I'm actually challenging anyone who's listening to what I have to say. So whatever the topic is, that is the challenge. Because I believe if we leave it to ourselves, we tend not to act. But if someone points out, it's more likely than not that we'll do something about it. So I want to play a quick video, then we'll come back on. All right. Day 5 of the daily challenge. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson. Today, I challenge you to focus on your self-care. Dedicate time to activities that rejuvenate your mind, your body, and your spirit. And make sure to prioritize your well-being. Now, ask yourself, what activities bring me peace and relaxation? How can I make self care a regular part of my daily routine? How does taking care of myself enhance my overall well being? Don't let the demands of daily life prevent you from taking care of yourself. Instead, recognize the importance of self care in maintaining your health and happiness. Until next time on the Daily Challenge, thank you and blessings always. So that's what that is about. It is actually a real thing. It's not just a talk. I am asking anyone who's listening to consider the topic and the questions. Right?
Accept the challenge.
Accept the challenge. Don't let the business of your daily life
Yeah.
get in the way. And we all use that. Oh, I was so busy today. I didn't get a
Yeah.
chance to eat.
Yeah.
I was so busy today. I couldn't go to the gym. I was so busy today. Man, I didn't get enough sleep. Prioritize yourself.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I
So
like that.
that is the daily challenge. That's day 5. Now, each day I will have a different one. And they tend to be very personal. Because as I'm challenging those who are listening, I'm also challenging myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. It's a challenge for me as well. So, anything else you want to add? I know we're coming up on the hour, and we're working real hard to get this show down to 1 hour.
Yes.
So, well, I've been playing around with effectiveness and
Mhm.
efficiency. So it is. We often are very effective in that we do what we say we're going to do, but we're not efficiently effective.
Mhm. I like
Meaning
that. Effective.
that we don't always get it done in the time that we allocate to get it done. So one of my thing moving forward is to become more efficient in getting things done. Not just to be effective, but to be efficient in being effective.
I like that.
That's
Efficiently effective.
yes.
I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna have to use that, Doc.
Hmm.
I have to use that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like that. Efficiently effective.
Yes, and especially when you have so much to do, you'll achieve
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You'll achieve more, and that's why I said to myself, this show should not go more than an hour. We should get it out what we need to get out in 1 hour.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then what else is left to be said can carry over to the next week. Um,
And you said it. Carry on to the next week. We have
I
a
agree.
comment here from my friend Agati Peter saying love. He's watching all the way from Kenya. Hey Peter, man, we appreciate you jumping on. That's a good look. We hope to have you on the program here whenever you're available. I know for you to be watching it now, it's a sacrifice because it's what?
Yeah.
It's really late over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking
Welcome,
about
welcome.
the 8 hour spread, man. But but that's what it is. We have to become more efficient, more as we're effective, and let those two things work together better. Let them align, right? So, in closing, Juan, what do you want to say before we go?
Just real quick, we've been talking about this. I think it's a theme for tonight is self-care. Doc touched on self-realization, and I think he said this, and I so agree. The prioritizing self. At the end of the day, choose you. He said it so perfectly. And so I agree. I second that. Like, choose your mental health, your peace, your rest, your comfort. All of those things matter. I mean, you're no good to anybody if you're depleted and you're empty, right? And so take care of you. You can't give what you don't have. And if you're depleted, you can't give from a depleted place. You can't give from an empty well. So take the time to replenish, to refill, to get rejuvenated, recoup, whatever you need to do, so that you can be your full self.
Wow. You know, I can't follow that. So I will close out with a video. After what you just said, I want to play this video and then we'll come back and just say good night. All right? Let me just play this video.
In a forge of life where strong survive, a tale is written of hearts that strive. Through fire and flame they find their way, becoming iron where courage holds sway. Becoming iron with hearts forged in fire. Tales of courage and conviction rising even higher. Displaying strength in the fiercest fight. Becoming iron, shining in the night. The brave man faces the darkest night. The empowerment fights with all his might. The resilient man stands unwavering and strong. The inspired man knows where he belongs. Together they rise, conquering fears. Becoming iron through trials and tears.
All right. Unwavering and strong, and that is you, sir. That is you. So if you can do the honors of taking us out, I'd truly appreciate it.
So, here at Bridging Generations, Lord, we are truly honored that you took the time to sit in and talk with us. We are on this just journey of telling our story. For those who are watching the playback, please, send your questions in, send your chats, your comments on YouTube, like and share. We appreciate you joining in. Like we said, same time, every Thursday, with your co-host here with Bridging Generations. Thank you. Y'all be safe. Take care of yourselves. And we will see you next week.
Blessings always.